The Silver Load, hello. How is everyone doing? Gosh, we are getting up to 10 people already. Welcome, one and all, to the stream. I have plenty of cool things to get on with today. Right, yes, we've got people coming in. Sorry, I'm streaming off my phone. I've also got my desktop up here so I can see the chat a lot more easily. So welcome to the stream. If you're early doors, hello. It'd be great to know where you're from. So here are some little rules, I suppose. They're not really rules. The only rule is be polite. And by the way, if anybody wants to volunteer to look to be a moderator and you're an established member, just let me know and perhaps we can look to do that, because I am going to be doing more live streams as we go throughout the rest of this year, and it'd be good to have a few moderators out there to help police the chat. So welcome to the stream, and please feel free to say hello. Tell us where you're from as well. It's always nice to know where around the world everybody is joining us from. And ask me a question. Just feel free to let me know anything that you want me to answer. If I can, I will. But yeah, that is basically what we're going to be up to today. I'm going to aim to be on for around about an hour, probably until about 6 o'clock UK time. So yeah, hopefully we'll have some fun today. That's basically what we are going to be here. Right, Silver Mac, hello. You want to be a moderator? I've just made it so. Hopefully that will work. I don't really know how these things work, but hopefully you are now a moderator. I've clicked the button anyway. Right, so let's dive into, well, first of all, let's get some shiny things on the table. So one of the things I'm going to be doing today, and it was in the thumbnail, is going through this pile of junk and mess and bits and bobs. So we will be having a look at all through this in a moment, but first let's jump into the chat and see who's here. So we've got, right at the start, got Silver Load first in, Darth Car, welcome, of course, Silver Mac. Silver Dane from Denmark, great name. Of course you're from Denmark if you're the Silver Dane. We've got Tall Thin Kev, guitars and stuff. He got a notice this time, great. Guys, if you've not subscribed to the channel, or if you probably are if you're in this early doors, but if you've not subscribed with notifications on and you want to get notifications when these streams and videos go live, then just hit that alarm bell. Who else have we got in? We've got Dixie Silver Miner, all the way from America, lovely. Silver Load is based in Boston. We've got Darth Car and Bishop Stortford in the UK. Got 5 Huggy, as in the wet Lake District. Pretty wet down here on the south coast, my friend, as well. Mark Hopkinson, welcome. We've got Angel Murillo from California. Tony Ricci, hello. And there was a very quick edit on that hammered video. It was brought to my attention fairly quickly, and I edited it away, but that's enough about that. We've got Silver Dane, Mr. Dave, hello. Finnish Army, Jan, I can't even begin to pronounce your surname, I'm afraid, Jan, but welcome from Derbyshire. And a number of others. And John RMS is in, Josh Harris as well. Hello, everybody. How are we all doing this weekend? It's a pretty wet, windy, nasty one here in the UK, but nothing compared with some of the other horrible weather incidences that are happening around the world. The typhoon in Southeast Asia and China springs to mind at the moment, so I hope everybody out in Southeast Asia is doing okay at the moment. Let's put those over there where we can see them. So for those of you who have just joined us, we are going to be starting the stream today by just having a quick look through this junk pile. So this is my melt bag. It's come out of its bag. It's now on this tablecloth. But basically, this is all the junk stuff that I have that I use to melt. It's all 999 pure, or at least I hope it is. I did find one coin in this batch that wasn't, and I caught it in time. I always do a double check before you can see I've been trying to chop up some of these coins. So I do chop them up and I do use them for melting. And see if we've got a half Austrian Philharmonic there. So yeah, we do go through them and chop them up and use them. That's a sad fate of a lot of silver. But you can definitely see, that I really like seeing a chopped up coin actually, because you can see the pure silver all the way through, which looks really cool. So yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. We're just going to have a look through here and sort through all of this. But let's jump straight back to the chat. So we've got... gosh, it's going too fast for me, guys. Stop talking too much. Well, actually, don't, because it's quite fun to talk. Who have we got in here? Darth Car says he's bored. Well, hopefully the stream today and the live chat will help alleviate some of your boredom. We have got John RMS coming in. Great British silver pourer if you've not checked him out. And Sat Singh flying his kite. It's a good day to fly your kite, although you do need to have probably a pretty sturdy kite, otherwise it might take you up with it, I would imagine. Certainly where we are in the UK, it's a little bit blustery. My garden is taking the brunt of it today. I hope the runner beans and the various other plants that we've got can withstand the breezes. Now then, who else is in here? Silver Max says to Dixie Silver Miner that there's been some amazing pieces coming out of their shop recently. Yes, there has. I've been actually meaning to contact Dixie Silver Miners because I need to get something from you guys over here. So Dixie, if you're still in the chat, drop me an email because I need to have some of your pieces. Your silver is very, very cool. Very talented silver pourers, guys. If you've not checked them out, I don't know if Dixie can post a link. Probably Silver Mac because you're the mod. But if you want to post a link to their channel, please feel free to do so and get in touch, Dixies, if you want to do a trade or something. That'd be very cool. But yes, really great work. So John RMS says he wants that cube. Well, there's a couple of cubes here, John. These are, believe it or not, in the reject pile. So this is actually what a lot of the reject stuff goes into here. I've been working my way through this pile of junk over the last couple of weeks because why not? It's pure silver. It might look all dirty and nasty, but when you pour it back out again, it comes out really nicely. So we basically use all of this. We try and go through it as much as possible before cracking on with new bits of silver shot and things like that, because ultimately you need to. And you know, a lot of this is actually stuff that comes out at the end of a pouring cycle. So these really funky looking things here are what's left in the base of the crucibles, the graphite crucibles. And yeah, basically sometimes I like to reuse those crucibles. If this was a crucible that's got a good amount of life cycle left in it, I would just leave this in there and I'd pop more silver in and melt away. But these have come out of crucibles which have basically gone through their last cycle. So it's yeah, it's like I kind of will use them at some point, or throw them around the room, use them at some point, but these are at the moment just sitting in that kind of junk bag waiting for me to use them, unfortunately. It's amazing though how much, I mean, I haven't got an exact weightage here, but there's probably at least like 3 or 4 kilos worth of junk silver here, which of course all has value, and it's part of any kind of business. This was an attempted, well, this was, I think, the very first try I did at a globe, and the seal wasn't quite good enough, so we almost had a little bit of an accident because the silver started pouring out of the seams, which was very interesting. So yeah, but anyway, right, I'm just going to head back to the chat for a moment whilst we just have a look through here. So who else is joining us? We've got Coin Collector. Hello, joining us on this beautiful Saturday evening here in the United Kingdom. Of course, it's probably, gosh, it must be what, early morning, late morning for some of you guys in the US of A. But anyway, so Silverfinger says he is still nursing a bad back. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Hopefully things will get better soon. Mark B says, anybody getting the Black Flag series from Atmex? I can't say that I've seen the Black Flag series at the moment, but maybe we'll have a look at that at some point. Love the clanking of silver, says the Silver Loader. That's one of the coolest things, isn't it? That noise is just awesome. There's just no way that you can not love that noise. So who else have we got coming down here? Dixie Silver Miner says, we'd be honoured. Thank you, sir. So yeah, drop me an email, Dixie. It's byb@backyardbullion.com and we'll work something out, I'm sure. Silverfinger, anyone bought directly from Baird & Co? Are they good to do business with? They are a very good company. I've bought from them a couple of times. And also I've actually been to their offices and shop in London. We didn't get to film anything there at the time because we kind of went in. I was there with International Stacker and I was on a bit of a time schedule that day. So we weren't able to film anything because we kind of didn't get, you know, everything arranged in advance and they weren't sure what or how much we could film. So I wasn't able to get anything, but I'm pretty sure they're a very good company and they seem very professional. So that's very cool. Handsome Rat has asked, what temperature do we use on our kiln to melt all this stuff? Well, it's set up to a maximum of 1120. Silver has a melting point of 986 degrees, but when it's a larger lump like this, so that's at the atomic level when it will start to melt, but a larger lump like this will usually hold its form up to over 1000 degrees, and then it will start to liquidate and melt down. Actually, some of the times as well, I've seen my furnace get to like 1040, 1050 degrees when there's, if you stacked up two great big cubes like this, lots of weight in there, it'll actually hold its form and not melt until about 1050 degrees, and then it will all melt at once. It will kind of self-implode, and then the average temperature of the entire unit will drop down again, which is fascinating stuff. The physics of melting silver is incredibly cool. So, but yeah, so John RMS is still eyeballing these cubes. I'm sorry, my friend. They are what they are. Yeah. The coolest thing, I think, are like all of these old school rounds and coins and things that we've just collected along the way. These are all sort of junk pieces that we've purchased at basically, the cheapest prices that we can, spot price, most of the time. So yeah, it's pretty cool to have these. And there was one or two of these eagles that I've got in here, which I'm kind of, I'd be sad to chop them up. We've got like a 1988 US eagle and a 1991 US eagle here, and I'd be sad to chop it up. But ultimately, I guess, they're just the choppers. They are there just to be melted for me, and don't hold a great deal of sentimental value for them. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So, who else we've got in? We've got eGaming. Welcome. Hello. How are we doing today? We've got 3 subscribers without any videos. Surely you must have more than 3 subscribers now, even though you have no videos. He's commenting that silver is touching $23 an ounce in Canadian. I know. Silver Mac, man, why have you gone and done that? Silver Mac, thank you for the super chat. That's really, really very cool indeed. And you don't need to do that, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Anyway, look, silver. So who was I saying? 3 subscribers without any videos is saying silver is going up and up and up. Canadian dollars, it's looking like it's $23 an ounce, which is bonkers. Look at all my dirty hands here. It's yucky. But it's, yeah, I mean, it's just bonkers this week, isn't it? It's been a mad week. It's been more mad for gold, and that's the real thing. Do you know what? The few people out there that know in my sort of personal life roughly what I do, I don't necessarily tell them everything, but I do sometimes talk with people about gold and silver and things like that. And, a lot of people are just completely, they don't know anything about the true value of gold or silver. And when you tell them that £1,250 an ounce for gold, they gawk with madness, and they say, and if I tell them that I've got a gold coin that I bought for £1,000 and it's now worth 1,250, they are overwhelmed by it. It's quite amazing. It's really quite funny, the sort of mentality of a lot of people in this world. Here's an interesting heart. So most people would say, yes, this looks like a fantastic heart, but it doesn't meet the backyard bullion specifications. This is a very cool, funky ripple pool, but I can do better. I know I can do better. And there's like little tiny spots and things on it. So this is one of the things that we like to do. We try and make, so if somebody orders a heart, if somebody wants a sort of commission ordered heart, we try and do like 3 or 4 different pieces all in one go, and let them choose which one they like best. And we did that with a batch of these. This was the one that was left over, and we decided, no, it's all right. We just were going to put this back in the melting pot. And that's the beauty of silver. You can just pop it straight back in the melting pot, and away it goes. Now, I realised I was going to sort all of this and kind of get, I don't know, some accurate weights and things of this, but it's a little bit difficult on the live stream whilst we're just sat here at the table. So I thought I'd share it with you at very least. Maybe we'll actually get around to actually physically organising it and stuff another time. Here was an interesting situation. This was if you remember a while back, we had a potential accident happen with the silver, and in that potential accident, I managed to get most of the silver out of the crucible without it going everywhere, but some of it did spill through and hit onto the no, it's not graphite, beg your pardon, it's the granite block that I pour onto, and it's this random shape, which is kind of cool, but disaster averted. It's always important. No, that was over a year ago, in fact, I think now, so always important to take as many safety precautions as possible. So let's put all of this junk to one side, because I have some other cool things to look at and show you guys today. One of them is a little bit of coin hunting. So a lot of the videos that we do here on a Saturday on the Backyard Bullion channel tend to be coin hunting videos, 50p's and the like. Lately, I've been having an absolute like horrible time getting any kind of decent 50p coin bags. They've just not been around. All of the ones that we've been getting have been brand new ones basically from the post office, and they're not the fun ones either. So I thought I'd do some 10p coin hunting today. So we've got £100 worth of 10p's, which we're just going to have a look through because we want to find the alphabet 10p's. So for those who don't know, I probably should have got some 10p's out that actually have the alphabet on them to showcase. But the 10p's with the alphabet signs, there's obviously one for each of the alphabet. And they're really very cool. They're actually quite expensive. Here in the UK, if you want to buy individuals of them, they are quite pricey. So let's have a look and see what we can find here. So basically, we're looking for anything that's not one of these lion and shields, and we can go from there. Now, I'm just going to crack on with all of this, but also try and multitask with the chat as well. So John RMS says, if I find any alphabet coins, I'll let you know. I will. I've got a bunch of G's. I'm all down with the G's. I've got hundreds of them. Well, maybe not hundreds. I've literally got 150 or more of them though, because we've got a whole bag of them from the post office at one point. But I don't know how many, if any, we'll find today. I'll be amazed if we find any, to be honest, because they're all incredibly low mintage, and they're really not hard, or they're very hard to come by, I should say, which is a shame because they're really pretty. And I think that the UK is missing a bit of a trick at the moment in the kind of coin game. I think the US have all of their sort of state quarters and everything, which is really, really fun. But us here in the UK, we basically have 50p's, which are kind of fun, but there's not a great deal that really goes on with them. And it's just a bit frustrating, really, that we don't have, like, all our counties and things. Like, how many people can name the majority of the UK counties? I bet you hardly any, and it'd be cool to have those on there. So yeah, have you got any ideas for fun kind of themes that you could have on UK coinage? Do let us know down in the chat. Talking of the chat, I am neglecting the chat. I'm really sorry, guys. Let's just have another quick look through the chat. Well, look, do you know what? If I go back through the chat, I'm going to miss a whole bunch of other people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the chat right now. So if you've got any questions, or if you've asked any questions that I've missed, ask them again right now, and I will answer them as we go through these 10p coins, because it's very difficult multitasking, I have to say. And thank you, Silvermac, as well, for being for the moderator. I don't know if you've had to moderate anything as we've gone through. If anybody else, by the way, wants to be a moderator, if you're an established community member and you'd like to help out, not that we've actually had anything happen today, but I think it's always good to be prepared in case there's any of my trolls that come in. There are a few trolls out there that don't like me and what I stand for and what I do. Fine. I mean, it's their own opinion. They can do what they want, but there are indeed a few people out there who will come in and they'll say horrible things. And if there's anybody out there who wants to be a moderator, then let me know, and I'm sure Silvermac will help. Right, so chat here, we've got 5656 Samuel saying, how am I doing today? I'm doing very well, my friend. I hope you're doing well as well. Sakut Irani, very nice coin. Oh, these are just regular 10p's. Hopefully we're going to find a cool one in this batch, and I have no idea if we will though. But if we don't, we haven't lost anything, because all of these will just go straight back to the bank. Who else is here? Don't open the bags until you see what's inside first, please. Well, you think there might be a whole bag of them? That would be kind of cool. If there was an if there was a sealed bag of these alphabet 10p's, that would be like hitting the jackpot. Each of these special 10p's go for well over like £2 a coin sometimes. Right, we can see in there, I think, that those are not all 10p. So Tall Thin Kev, we are good to go to snip that one open and have a look through them. I'm not expecting to find any, if I'm being completely honest, in today's video. I don't think there'll be any at all. But we have been surprised by coin hunts before, so perhaps we will find some. White Buff is saying, what don't the trolls like? Who knows, my friend, who knows? There are some people out there in this world who are just angry for no reason, and they like to scream and shout, and I don't know. You know, it's part of the nature of being on the internet. I think it's always, like, I think it was Yankee Stacking who said that basically as soon as you start getting trolls, and a troll or a persistent troll that wants to come and not like you or put a thumbs down on every single video you do. Like I put a notification up through the YouTube system here about the live stream, and before it even went live, there was 1 thumbs down. So there's always going to be some people out there who are just not very nice, and that's part and parcel of being on the internet and looking at things. So who knows what they actually don't like. Right, who else is in the chat? So I'm missing a few things. Tyneside Silver Bullion, BYB has a package arrived. I did actually email you, my friend, the other day, yesterday. It has arrived. And maybe, in fact, let's take a quick break from coin hunting, because our very, very good friend Tyneside Silver Bullion has joined the chat, and Tyneside Silver Bullion, UK Silver Pourer, back up in the Newcastle area, has created this. Another piece of armory, or another piece for my armory, I should say, a sandcast silver axe. Really very cool. You guys who've been following my community poured silver for a while know that I am very partial to my silver weaponry, and having all of those pieces in there for the zombie apocalypse, or the zombie werewolf apocalypse, because silver will do us very well. So that is from Tyneside Silver Bullion. If Silvermac, if you're still in the chat, please put a link to Tyneside Silver Bullion's channel if you can. That'd be very helpful. He's a quality chap, quality YouTuber, and go and sub to him. I'm sure I will give you a bit more credit at some point on a video, my friend, because that's a very cool piece indeed. But that's all we got time for in today's little bit of chat. 5Huggy wants to moderate. We can add you as a moderator, my friend. I know you on the Silver Forum, so thank you. All right, who else is in here? Ooh, very good questions coming from 3 subscribers without any videos. He asks, what price would silver have to be for me to liquidate everything I hold in metals? That's a very good price. Very good price. Very good question. The honest answer is I don't really know, and I don't really know if I would want to liquidate everything. I think the problem is if you get to a point where there's a price like that, then there's a reason that that's happening, and I think that reason would probably be some form of dire economic collapse. And yeah, that in that kind of situation, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, do you know what? I don't think. I mean, you wouldn't want to liquidate it all in one go if that was the situation, because you'd need to have some kind of reserve, some kind of insurance almost about if things continue to go. Like if you take everything out and you put it all into that fiat currency, and you know you're basically, oh look, we've got one. And before I crack on with this F coin, you would be up the Brown Creek without a paddle if you cashed in everything and it was in a situation like that where everything was going. So I hope that answers your question. Right, I'm sorry, I've missed a whole bunch of the chat again, but look, we found a special 10p, we found an F. How cool is that? So as I said earlier, these go for like £2 plus each or more, depending on where and how you sell it. And that's very cool. So we've got an F for a fish. I think that's meant to be F for a fish. All celebrating UK stuff, and that's the fish industry here in the UK. Very cool indeed. Awesome. Oh, I'm really happy. That is actually genuinely the first 10p that I've found in a proper hunt, because all of the others that we've found have been either in one great big bag or just coming out of change from from the shops and everything. So that's very cool. Very happy with that. Right. Now, look, I have missed a whole bunch of the chat. So if I've missed something that anybody wants to ask me again, please feel free to ask it. I'm sorry, it's very difficult multitasking on coin hunting and doing the live chat and moderating and everything as well. On the subject of moderating, we've got 5Huggy and Silvermac in the chat moderating, so thank you to them. And if you would like to be a moderator, if you're an established member, just give me a shout and we can get you sorted as that moderator. So, who else is in here? Somebody asked, I saw a question earlier, Mark B. Also, if you have a direct question, if you use the @ symbol and then my name, it actually highlights it on the chat for me so I can see it a lot easier. So if you've got a genuine question, then please feel free to do that with the @ symbol. So Mark B asks, am I going to cast any more spheres? I presume that you are referring to the Planet Earth style pieces that we did last year. And the answer to that is yes, we will be. They will be coming out around the Christmas time. And we're going to be pushing the boat out and doing something very, very special indeed. Not going to go into much more detail on that at this stage, but needless to say, we will be doing more of those very cool pieces. They are really fun to do, and hopefully by Christmas. 3 subscribers without any video says that F is effing cool. That's very cool. It is effing cool. That's very true indeed. Let's head back down to the chat. Tyneside Silver Bullion, you can mod. Let's make you a moderator as well. So Sat Singh is asking, is the European Mint the cheapest place to buy silver coins? I started to buy them with my buy them with TX. I don't know what TX is. To you, I've never heard of them before. Well, I mean, I've used the I've used the European Mint for well over nearly 2.5 years now. They are consistently very well priced, if not the best price. I mean, you can never truly know if anybody's the truly best priced company out there, but from my experiences, they pretty much always have been for the majority of their stuff. There are going to be some things which are a bit more expensive than other dealers out there. So yeah, they're really good, and I would highly recommend them to anybody if you are in the market for silver bullion. I can't see how you can go far wrong with ordering from them. 5656 Samuel, you can just go to the bank, ask for those coins, and take them back if you don't get anything good. Yes, that's very true, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing here. There's a coin change counting machine in my bank. Don't fall victim to the silly coin machines you see in the local supermarkets here in the UK, because they actually charge you for the privilege of changing your coins into notes or something, and I don't agree with that. Go into your local bank. If they don't have a change machine, they'll have a coin counter behind their actual bank teller counter as well, so you can go in there and do it, and they'll weigh it and sort it all out, so not that hard to do. And the beauty of this is it doesn't cost you anything unless you find a coin. Like, this whole thing has cost me 10p so far, and the time it's taken me to do it, basically. So yeah, it's a really fun thing to do, and I don't know why more people don't do it either. Matteo Man says TX's thanks. Well, yes, sorry, that's my not knowing anything about the modern world of social media, really, isn't it? It's quite ironic, really, considering I run a YouTube channel with, by the way, we're up to like 14,600 subscribers, which is pretty bonkers. So nearing on that 15,000, and I think we're probably going to do a bit of a giveaway at 15,000. So not far away. It's probably going to be about a month away, I think, by current sort of rate of subscriber base. So that's going to be pretty cool. So no other 10p's, fancy 10p's so far, which is a bit of a shame, but I wasn't expecting to find any of them, and we've managed to find one, which is one more than I was expecting to find, so that is definitely a good thing. E-gaming, can you be a moderator? Yes, you can, my friend. You've been on many of my live streams and chats before. Thank you for volunteering. I think that's probably enough moderators for now, and we haven't had any problems. In fact, we've got 35 thumbs up without a single thumbs down. So obviously my favourite trolls out there haven't even worked out that we've got a live stream going on at the moment. So hey ho. What is everybody up to this weekend? It's been a pretty quiet day for me here in the Backyard Bullion house, because Mrs. Backyard Bullion has gone up to her parents for the day with the doggies. So it's just been myself. I've been cracking on with a bunch of work, a bit of silver pouring this morning, and then a little bit of silver stamping this afternoon. And I also filmed a video which is coming out tomorrow showcasing the 100-gram silver foreign bars. So if you're interested to find out more about those, that video will be out tomorrow afternoon. There you go, Tall Thin Kev. I am checking each bag, I promise, before I chop it open. But yeah, it'd be good to know what you guys are all up to this weekend. Have you got anything fun lined up for the rest of the weekend? Because for some of you watching in the US of A, it must be relatively early in the morning still. So yeah, let us know down in the comments in the live chat what you're doing. Who else is in the chat? We've got people saying like number 38. Coinman500 asks a really good question. What's the best coin I have found? It's a difficult one because I don't really know all of the up-to-date values of the 10p coins or the 50p coins, the special ones. One of the best things that we did, though, that we did get hold of was an entire bag of the Peter Rabbit 50p coins. This was probably about 18 months ago now. And those 50p Peter Rabbits were brand new on the market, and there was a big kind of popular. They were very popular on eBay and things like that, and bags of them were selling for up to £20, and they were bags of £10 worth of cash. So literally taking £10 worth of cash and doubling it straight away. That was probably the best find. The single best coin in coin hunting is probably in the 90% silver that we got from the European Mint, where we found a Barbadime. That was probably the coolest thing, I'd have to say. So Tall Thin Kev says he's playing tomorrow night, presumably playing guitar. That would be very cool for you. Silvermax says, my trolls are busy trolling others at the moment, so don't worry. I'm sure they will return soon. I'm sure they probably will. That's the nature of YouTube. You can block them from commenting on your videos, but you can't block them from watching, unfortunately. That's one of the features that YouTube, I think, needs to. You just need to be able to block somebody completely from your channel, like IP address block them, so they don't ever come back, in my opinion. 3 subscribers without any video says, I love how everyone here knows and respects gold and silver. I'm friends with dozens of people who are lost and think gold and silver don't have a part to play in today's society. I agree. I was saying earlier in the stream that I've talked with people who really just don't know anything about precious metals and their true value, and you get quite funny looks sometimes when, you know, perhaps if you're out with a few mates and things and you start striking up conversations about investing in various different things, stocks, shares, ISAs, whatever it might be, and then you talk about gold and silver and people look at you strangely. They just don't get it. And you know, I suppose they're right in a certain way, because silver is not really an investment, so to speak. But it is, you know, it definitely has its place within any kind of portfolio, I think. And a lot of people don't get that, which is really quite interesting, I think, and telling of this world we live in right now, which is quite interesting. So let's I'm going to scroll back up a little bit, and we've got Mateo Man saying that silver premiums make it hard to profit with silver in North America. Add in VAT and it's impossible, especially with the gold-silver ratio so high. Yeah, it is pretty tough right now, and it's pretty tough here in the UK. Now, one thing that we did here in the Backyard Bullion business side of things is we, to a certain extent, stockpiled in preparation for Brexit. So we did have a couple of large deliveries of silver shot, which has tied us over for a good long time. But we're getting to the point where we might need to be looking to purchase some more raw materials at some point, and prices are not good right now. And you know, we've got Brexit looming its head once again with the loss of a VAT-free route. So it might well have to be that in a couple of months' time that we're going to have a long, hard look at kind of the nuts and bolts of what we do in terms of the finances and prices and things like that, because the idea here is to be sustainable, but ultimately we don't really want to be working for nothing. And it's one of those things that it's always difficult to kind of work out what is the best thing to do, prices. But, you know, when prices go up, that's an interesting thing to talk about. So when prices go up in terms of metal, it does, in my opinion anyway, and this might be interesting to see what everybody thinks about it, but in my opinion, it makes premium items more attractive. So look at it like this. If gold was around £1,000 an ounce, which it was for ages, and you are looking at buying some proof gold coins from the Royal Mint, the Proof Queen's Beast series, for example, they were all around the 475 mark, which is roughly just under double what a quarter ounce of gold should cost. It'll be interesting to see what the Royal Mint's prices are now when the next quarter ounce Queen's Beast comes out, and whether or not it's still the same percentage. So I do think that there is an element of, you know, the percentage of premium goes down, or it should go down, because ultimately you think about it like this: the overhead costs of producing the item will be exactly the same with the exception of the price of the metal. So in theory, it should go up by the price of the metal, but then everything else should, the premium on top of that should stay the same, which brings down the overall percentage of the overall price of the item. So in theory, things should actually be less of a premium over spot as metal prices go up for those premium items. And I think that's going to be the similar thing for us here. You know, we want to try and aim to make, you know, a certain profit for every item that we look to sell. But you know, that just has to happen the way it is. So the premium that you pay compared with the old spot price is a lot lower, which is, I think, really interesting. Mark Hopkinson has asked, do I collect sovereigns? I don't collect sovereigns. I have some sovereigns, and I loosely, I suppose, am starting to collect them. I'm getting one each year that they come out, basically, but no, not exactly a collector of sovereigns. I'm more of a larger gold person myself. E-gaming, how close to spot are my silver bars? I'm afraid my silver bars are not very close to spot at all. You've got to factor in all of the manufacturing, time, energy, effort, expenses, furnace running costs, crucibles, hallmarking, whole host of things. So the answer is not very. 3 subscribers without any video is, I think, still talking about how people don't understand the value of precious metals. It's such an important thing for anybody who's new to the game to really understand what precious metals are all about. E-gaming is asking, do I think inflation will hit hard with Brexit? I don't know if it'll hit really hard. I know that things will go down more. I mean, I say I know. I suspect things will go down a lot more, but I don't think that it's going to collapse. I think the world will still keep turning. I think it's the same thing. Like, there was a load of people who were saying in the build-up to the presidential election of Donald Trump that if Trump was elected, then the world would collapse, or the US economy would collapse overnight. People would emigrate, leave the country, and you know, that would be it. But you know, the world keeps turning. The world keeps turning, and that's an important thing to remember. So Brexit is pretty interesting, but ultimately it's not the end of the world, and hopefully, in fact, it will yield some pretty good trade deals with different countries out there. So yeah. 3 subscribers without any videos says, it's true, happened to me when picking up a 100-ounce bar from the post office. The lady asked, why is it so small and heavy? You told her it's silver, and she looked at you funny. Well, I always say it's geological samples if anybody asks. Like, sometimes the delivery men that come from the European Mint, they'll go, goodness, this is heavy, what's in here? And I say it's geological samples, and I usually you know, I have that sort of back cover story in my head. Oh, I work at the local university in the geology department, and I'm ordering geological samples. I think that's a pretty cool kind of excuse to use. Right, let's go back down to the chat. Who else is in? Mark B says he wants the 2009 Ultra High Relief Double Eagle. I'm not familiar with that coin, I have to say, but I'm sure it sounds good. High Relief Double Eagle. Why wouldn't it be good? Step Stacker, God bless Brexit. Alright, okay. Can we have one of the moderators moderate that comment? I don't like using the word Nazi in here. It's not. Everybody has different opinions, and it's really important to remember that. You know, Brexit is Brexit, and it is what it is. I don't really. Enough said on that. Silver Mac, have you been Coinman 500 for a while? Been working a lot lately? Okay, not seeing that. Local Tall Thin Kev says local uni geology. I did. Are you speaking like Yoda, or are you telling us that you've actually had a you used to work in geology? I don't know. How close to spot do I sell my silver bar? So I think you've asked that question already. E-gaming, I answered it. Tech 165 or 165 Tech says, I'm new to this. I have 90 ounces of silver, various sizes. What should you go for now? Well, I don't really like telling people what they should or should not buy. I personally think it's always good to have a diverse stack. So if you've got some silver and you are content with that kind of holdings within silver, it might be worth looking at other different types of metals, gold, platinum, and just seeing if there's anything there that might take your fancy. But don't rush into anything is my advice to you. Right. So Tall Thing Kev said he did work at Cambridge University in the geology department, perhaps. That's very cool. You're not, so 3 subscribers to that video says you're not worried. If they want to come find it, they can. Well, I think it's really important. Safety and security in your own personal life is really important. It's one of the reasons why we're a faceless YouTube channel. I think personal security is so important, and especially in today's tech world of Facebook and Google and all of that. You know, I mean, you can never be invisible in this world, but ultimately I think it's really important to try and be as safe and secure as possible. So you know, we don't go and tell anybody and everybody what we're doing, but hey, that's up to each person. 165 Tech, should my stepdad get some silver because all of his money is in stocks and pension? Again, I don't like to give financial advice and say that anybody and everybody should have silver. I think it's a really important decision for each person to make on their own. Hey, we've got something different. We've got something different. It's the same size, so it must just have been passed through. What is that? I have never seen anything like that before. Saint Germain's? Saint Germain's? Cathedral. It's Isle of Man. So for those who don't know, the Isle of Man is an island in between the UK, or in between England and Wales and Ireland. It's in the Irish Sea. And it's that's very cool. An Isle of Man 10p. Look at that. St. Germain's Cathedral. You learn something new every day, all the way from 2003. Seen better days, this coin, that's for sure. You can see the emblem of the Isle of Man here. It's 3 legs. It's a bit worn, but you can see 3 legs kind of poking out from different directions. That's really very cool indeed. Well, that's fun. You don't find something like that every day. We've got an F and we've got a Isle of Man 10p. So let's see what else we can find in the rest of these bags. I'm sorry that we've not found more cool things in these. I wasn't expecting to find anything, to be honest, but at least we found something. That is more than nothing. So we've got 64 people watching in the stream right now. Thank you all for joining me on this lovely Saturday afternoon. I say lovely, it's quite blustery and windy here in the UK at the moment, so I hope everybody's staying safe. Oh, was anybody caught up in the huge power cuts that we had yesterday in London and the south of England? That would be cool to hear if anybody's there. Did anybody get caught up in all of that? So, we've got Silver Mac says he's had a guy have somebody show up at his house. He found him online, got his address, and they ended up being wanted. Scary stuff. Yeah, that's scary. I mean, it's not impossible to find anybody in this world, I think, and that's particularly scary. So hopefully that'll never happen with us. But hey ho, hopefully. So if you do not know, guys, there was a big, huge, horrible power cut in London last night. Lots of people were stranded from being able to get home because the trains were all stopped. We weren't caught up in it, but we do know a few people who were, and it wasn't fun for them. So, sign of the times, isn't it? There's a lot of interesting things going on in the world right now, and who knows what really happened. You know, you can be told what's happened from the media, but I don't know, you never really know what actually has been going on. So that was quite fun and interesting. Coinman5000 is saying, Backyard Bullion, do you have to roll change when you bring it back to the bank, or can you bring it in bags? So I can literally just bring it in bags, and they've got a machine, and I can bring it in one great big bag. They've got a machine, you dump it all in, and it sorts it, and it counts it, and you're done. You get a little slip, you take it up to the teller, and then they pay it into your bank account. So it's really, really simple here, for us anyway. We don't, like, coin roll hunting is very different. It's a very American thing. We have them, as you can see, all in these plastic bags, and it's very different to the US. I kind of like the feel and look of the old school kind of coin rolls, though, compared with these. Like, this is how they come in the plastic bags. Personally, I like the coin rolls for one reason. It's not plastic. Of course, plastic is a big issue in the world right now, and we try and do as much as we can in the Backyard Bullion household to mitigate plastic usage. But coin roll hunting is not one of those that we can do that on here in the UK. It does come all in these plastic bags. Now these are particularly jumbled up and I can't get them all in a row. You'll have to excuse my phone from beeping there. I'm sure you guys have seen the screen wobble. It's on vibrate mode, and yeah, that was quite fun. Who else is in the chat right now? Barbara Sevenson, a little cloudy here in Florida. Welcome all the way from Florida. It's probably cloudy but quite nice, I can imagine, compared with us here in the UK. It's quite overcast and horrible here. Did manage to get out into the local fields this afternoon though and pick some blackberries. So we're going to make some blackberry gin probably tomorrow, I suspect. But yeah, let us know what you're going to be up to the rest of the weekend. It's always fun to hear what people's hobbies and things are. So feel free to let us know. White buff. Do I ask my bank for 50p's or 10p's beforehand? I actually get these from my local post office. So my local post office is a really fantastic place, and they are happy to order in bags of these things for me from, I think, their kind of central distribution office, which is in Birmingham. This is how the big bag looks when it comes in. So I think this is basically comes straight from the Royal Mint to them. They sort it and then they ship it out, which is kind of cool. So yeah, let's just have a look quick through these last ones here. I don't think we're going to find another cool 10p in this whole batch. It'll be interesting to see if we can, but I don't think that there will be any. But it'd be fun to see if we can get another Isle of Man one or a Gibraltar 10p or something like that, because sometimes they just get mixed in with these coin machines. If it weighs the same and it's the same diameter, then I'm sure they get mixed up. So Mateo Man says, I have original bank rolls of silver coins from the 60s and the rolls keep them in good nick. Well, that's one good thing about the paper rolls. They do keep them in better condition than the plastic. Can somebody moderate Johnny Blaze out of the chat, please? Because he's saying some things which I do not like. In fact, I think I can probably moderate him. Yeah, hide user on channel. Goodbye, my friend. There's no place for talk like that. Barbara Severson says they take some of the rain. It has been nice for the garden this last couple of weeks, I have to say. Our garden has exploded. We've managed to get loads of very cool veggies, and we've been doing a big kind of blanching session of beans recently, which is really very cool indeed. Carla Silva says gin. Now I'm talking. Yes, we make loads of our own infused gin. So we've been doing strawberry gin when strawberry season happened. We've got some raspberry gin on the go as well, and we're going to hopefully do some blackberry gin. Get that started tomorrow. Who else have we got in here? E-gaming. I'm just going to take you off the moderator side of things. If your internet's playing up a little bit, then it's probably better if we just leave it to the other people for now. And yes, we can continue with the 10p hunting. So for those of you who, so we're coming to the end of these bags. For those of you who've been following my channel for the last couple of weeks, what's been your favourite video or favourite item that we've featured? I've got what I think is my favourite item over the last couple of weeks that we've featured over to one side, and I'm going to go get it in a moment once we're finished with these 10p bags. It'd be interesting to see if anybody has any kind of guesses as to what my favourite item has been that I've featured over the last couple of weeks here on the channel. It's a very, very cool piece indeed. Mark Jones says, you should own 909 Gold Flex gin. It would probably sell well on the forum. It might well do. I don't know. Can you get? I mean, I think you can get that. You can get edible Gold Flex. I know you can do that. But I wouldn't want to waste it. I wouldn't want to waste it in the gin. It's gold. Keep the gold. You want to keep gold. I thought you, Mark, would be the one person of all that would want to keep as much gold as possible. But I don't know. Gold Fleck gin. Maybe it should be Silver Fleck gin. If we're making the backyard bullion gin, it should definitely be with some silver in there. Some silver flecks. I don't know if you can get silver flecks that are edible. I'm sure you can, surely, if you've got gold flecks that are edible. maybe you can get silver. I don't know. Who else is in the chat? Barbara says, actually, I would like anything from there, even if it's such a small item like a stamp. Do you mean the United Kingdom? I don't know. I try and put stamps on all my parcels now. It's really very cool to have those, and they look very good as well. 5Huggy says, keep gold, drink gin. Yes, that is the best thing that you can do with Gold Fleck gin. Keep that gold, drink the gin. That is by far and away the best advice for any Gold Fleck gin drinkers out there. And ironically, the thing is that nowadays some of these really high value whiskies and gins and things like that would be worth more than the gold sometimes. But anyway. Right, so MTN Wolf is guessing that the item that we're going to have a look at in a little moment to finish up the stream is the, I presume you mean the Burning Queen's Beast series that I gave a sneak peek of in yesterday's video at the end. No, it's not those. Guess again. It is very, very cool though, and I am really excited to show it again on the channel because it's one of those things where you get it and you think, crikey, yes, that is pretty cool, and I really enjoy it. But we'll show it in a moment. This is the last bag that we're going through. I don't think we're going to find anything else in this batch of £100 worth of 10p's and all. I spoke too soon. Look at that. Almost in the last bag, well, almost at the end of the last bag. Let's just get through the rest of these coins and then, oh, actually, no, I lie. Sorry, there is another bag. It's just snuck over to the other side. All right, look, tell you what, we've got one last bag and we'll crack that open. We'll have a quick look and then we'll just go through what we found. We found 2 alphabet 10p's. For those who don't know, the alphabet 10p's are probably worth about £2 each, so it's like huge percentage markup on the 10p that it's cost me to purchase them. It would have been nice to get 2 different ones, I have to say, but I'm not going to complain about finding 2 alphabet 10p's in these bags of 10p coins. That's very cool. I think their mintages are like 200,000 each, so really, really tiny when you think about how many 10p coins are actually out there in the world right now. So yeah, that's fairly cool, I have to say. I don't think any of these are cool 10p's, but we'll have one last look to go through and see them all. I think that they are all regular, old, boring 10p coins. Yeah, never mind. So there are the fruits of our labours. For £100 worth of 10p coins, we've managed to find 2 alphabet 10p's and an Isle of Man 10p, which is kind of good. I don't actually know whether that's good or not. That could be a complete flop. But yeah, anyway, there we go. Those are the very cool pieces from today. Now, I'm just going to go quickly wash my hands because they're all yucky and dirty and grimy from handling all of that change. And I'll be back in a moment. So the last thing that we're going to finish on this stream today is one of the coolest pieces that I've seen in the last couple of months. I have to say, it's absolutely stunning. That's the Pandora's Box coin from PowerCoin, and we've got this for at least another couple of weeks because PowerCoin are going to be sending me another coin to do a feature on, and we are going to be featuring that in a few weeks. But I get to hold on to and enjoy this incredibly cool piece of art for at least another couple of weeks, which is really very exciting for me. So I want to try and feature it on the channel a few more times. Guys, if you are interested in this, by the way, there is, I don't know if there's any left in stock. I can try and remember to put a link to the video on this that I did. It's simply stunning. Go and check it out on PowerCoin's website. They're a stunning company. Really, really very cool indeed. So yes, that is my favourite coin that I've featured over this last couple of weeks by a long way. So that is basically it for today's live stream. all we'll do for the next couple of minutes is take the opportunity to catch up on the chat, which I have to say I've been sorely neglecting, and I'm sorry, it's been quite difficult to do all the 10p's and chat as well. So look at all of this. I've got a fun task ahead of me now in recovering all of these into something that will be suitable to take to the bank. But look, I've got another cool fun thing to play with whilst we finish up the stream. So we will be finishing around 6 o'clock tonight, guys, so just 5-10 minutes more, but it's pretty cool. So let's catch up with the chat before we go. If anybody's got any questions they want to ask, then please feel free to ask them. If you put the @ symbol before my name, then it'll actually flash up orange on my chat and I can see it and answer your questions. So please do that. Who is in the chat? So Tyneside Silver Bullion says the mintage is for those 10p's is just. Have I? No, I didn't. Oh, thank God. I just thought for a moment that I mixed them all up together, but I've still got them here. Thank God for that. He says the mintage is just 100,000 for each of them, which is tiny, really tiny mintage. So let's catch up with the chat. So Andrew Lee says the Pandora's box coin is crazy. It really is, my friend. I absolutely think this is one of the most interesting design pieces out there at the moment. Really, really stunning. Just look at that 3D design. Absolutely amazing. And Andrew Leek also says the Silver Forum is brilliant. Yes, the Silver Forum is fantastic. Please make sure that you go over to the Silver Forum. They've been a long time sponsor of my channel. In fact, tomorrow the Silver Forum bars are being revealed. So we have a video showing all of those Silver Forum, well, not all of them, a bunch of Silver Forum bars, the 100-gram ones. We've actually reduced the mintage for 2019, and yeah, it's an interesting decision to do that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in tomorrow's video. 165 Tech, what do I think of people saying silver won't go up because the majority of holders are controlling the market to keep the price down? I mean, I'll say that I really don't know enough about the kind of silver markets in that sense to really understand what's going on behind the scenes. So I honestly could not tell you what my true and honest opinion is of that. All I know is that this stuff here has more value than this stuff here. It's truly, yeah, it's truly very, very interesting. Silver Wolverine says, hello Backyard Bullion. I noticed a YouTube ad with me on it. That was cool. Never seen someone from this community on a YouTube ad. I presume that means that you saw the Silver Forum ad that we did. The Silver Forum did that. I filmed something about the Silver Forum and he used that footage with my permission for that. That's very cool. I like that. I like that I'm now an advert somewhere on YouTube. That is quite funny. Barbara is off. Goodbye to everyone. I absolutely love that coin. I'll have to find the forum. It's thesilverforum.com. Very easy to find. Andrew Leek says the Raw Mint have reduced the mintages for the Queen's Beasts, so why not follow suit if they can do it? Indeed. Well, you know, I'll talk in tomorrow's video about why we've reduced the mintage a little bit more, but the nuts and bolts of it is, you know, we have here in the Backyard Bullion business a limited amount of turnover to work with for the rest of the year, so we want to be able to do as much of a variation of products as possible, and if we just do 150 100-gram bars or more, it really does take up an awful lot of that kind of turnover. So yeah, it's really interesting. Who else is in the chat? 3 subscribers without any videos says thanks Mateo Man, super surprised, recently got another top comment on a viral video. That's very cool. I like that when that happens, when you get your comments pinned by people. I need to try and do that more. 165 Tech says silver to go, any good? I've used them once or twice in the past. I do find them to be a little bit more expensive than some of their other competitors out there, like the European Mint or even goldsilver.be. So have a look around and see what have a look and see what other things are out there, basically, my friend. Silvermac, thank you for moderating as well. Thank you, Tyneside Silver Bullion, and also to 5Huggy for all of your hard work moderating. Also for e-gaming as well. I really do appreciate all of your support in that side of things. We've had a few people come in and say some silly things in today's comments, so I mean, it does happen sometimes, and I can't always catch them, which is a problem. So thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. Ginger8383 says, would I be accepting silver as payment? It's a difficult one. If I accept silver as payment, then technically I have to declare that at its face value at payment on my books. However, if I take silver from you and then charge you a fee to melt that silver, that's something very different, because I'm not taking payment in the form of silver, I'm just taking payment in the form of fiat cash. So that would be a potential thing that we can do into the future. And yeah, definitely that's something to look into. But yeah. Silvermax says, sorry you missed a couple of hours. Don't worry, my friend, it's fine. It is what it is. You can't. You've joined us for the entire hour of today's stream, which is more than anybody could have asked of yourself. So thank you. And also, you super chatted me right at the start. I mean, you're basically paying me to be a moderator on today's chat, which is bonkers. Guys, by the way, if you haven't checked out Silvermax's channel, he is another incredible silver pourer and caster, and we're in talks about getting a cool trade going, and I'm pretty excited. He's shown me some videos of the things that he's making, and boy oh boy is he talented. So guys, go and click on him and have a look. Silvermax, you should be able to put a link to your own channel on there in the chat, so make sure you do that. Silvermax says, chat goes fast. An hour has gone by so fast, and we do have to start wrapping it up now, because Mrs. Backyard Bullion is due home any time now, and I'm sure she doesn't want to rush on in and interrupt the live stream. So we will be doing another one, I'm sure, at some point in the future. I don't know whether they'll be, well, they're certainly not going to be weekly, because these live streams have to happen kind of when, essentially when Mrs. Backyard Bullion's away, because she works really hard during the week at a day job, and I get the luxury of being at home all the week working here at the furnace and everything. And you know, when we have time at the weekends together, it's really important to spend time with family, and that's the priority for us. So it happened to be that today she's away, so hopefully she'll be away soon. But she'll probably be away over the next coming weeks, and we'll do some more live streams then. But for now, that is where we are. Thank you everybody for watching. If you've not hit that like button, please do so. Really helps everything. Oh, look at that. Just as I turn to look at the like count, we must have had one of my lovely trolls join the chat or join the video, because we've had our first thumbs down only an hour and 1 minute into the stream, which, yeah, it happens all the time. But if you want to compensate for that by hitting the like button on the way out, that would be very helpful. Tell that troll where to go, and that would be very, very cool indeed. So thank you all of you guys for joining us today. I really do appreciate all of your support. It's been a fantastic live stream. I can't believe now it's gone by quite so quickly. Thank you. It really is incredible. Last thing I'll say, and this is the only thing that I really like, like to say on these sort of streams. I don't like to sit here and constantly pump things like the hand-poured silver. But if you guys want to support the channel, hand-poured silver is the best way to do it. It really is. Some of you guys will do basically super chats on some of the premieres and things, and that's really appreciated as well. But the single best way that I think you can support our channel and other people's channels out there is to buy their merchandise, buy their silver. And if you're buying people's hand-poured silver and things like that, you're getting something physical worth something in return. If you buy t-shirts or a super chat, whilst they're very much appreciated, they're not real physical wealth. So, do that. That would be very cool. And if you want to, our website is backyardbullion.com. That's the last I'll say on that side of things. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you everybody for joining in. Carlos Silva has first time joined in and he enjoyed it. If he enjoyed it, that's fantastic. Thank you everybody, and have a fantastic week. Last thing I'll always say is make sure you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.